Well, if nothing else happens today, it's a lovely morning. We've just had a nice sunrise and the water's quite clear, so even if we don't catch, it's going to be a lovely day. Walk along the coast a little bit now to these sort of medium-sized boulders. And it's just not finding the fish on those first few casts. Case of sort of cast and move a bit, really. Oh, we're in. That's amazing, isn't it? As soon as you get around, oh, he's good. Having a good old fight, this one. Oh, that's a good fish. I'm going to lose this. Oh, no, I'm not. Go on. We go in the water. Here he comes. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a lovely fish, I think. Come on, you. I'm going to negotiate it round. Oh yeah, lovely. Oh. Great. What a terrific fish. Yeah, that's a whopper. That's a great. As we know, bass very often swim in the same size year groups, and if you get one good fish, very often there'll be another of a similar size. So straight back in, same lure, same spot, would lightning strike twice. Go this one. Come on. Oh, lovely. Bust the lure, but I'm still going to use it, I think. Got a couple more of these. that lure's not working properly, so we're going to swap it over, but they seem to like these. This is, there you go, it's one of them. Something similar. Let's see if I don't catch on this. You know, it's that sand eel type rather than the shad type. I'm sure I've got one in the box somewhere. Well, I think it's because the fish are here that we're catching them. I've just spoken to someone else that was catching on surface lures, which we tried first, but I think the fish are in now. And what I've got in here, somewhere, yeah, a box of surface lures. I'm going to go for something a bit darker. Really have any silhouette darker one. Let's go with this pachinko. Right, you come say hello. Show me where the fish are. Yeah, so this is a lure we got on now. It's unweighted. It's a little shad from, I'm going to have to find out who that's from. I'll put it underneath. Similar to the one that caught those two. So with this, with this lure, it's going to be a slower retrieve. I want to feel it bouncing around these rocks. I mean, it really is. You know, the fish come in, they smash it, and then they'll leave an area. Right, so just going to sit down and have a drink, which brings us nicely on to the sponsors of today's episode, which is Holy. Holy reached out to me. I do wonder whether they saw how much I spend on coffee up at the local coffee shops here, or those old Coke cans in my bag, because they do offer a genuinely tasty alternative to those sort of drinks. Now, this stuff's got no sugar in it. It's got no taurine in it and no colourants either. And they do a hydration drink, they do the iced tea, and they do energy drinks. But the difference is you don't get that crash that you might get with an energy drink. Lots of sugar and then you have a crash. Not with Holy. They do genuinely offer a really good alternative. Don't just take my word for it. They've got some really good reviews online. So if you want to give it a go yourself, you can use my affiliate link underneath. There's also a code there for some money off as well. So yeah, I mean, give it a go. They do in these tubs that, so things work out a little bit cheaper as well. Some black tea today. As I say, I do like the coconut. They do a cherry. It's just a case of putting this, and this will be genuine. Hang on. Oh, that's really nice. That was. The only thing I would say that I've messed up on a little bit, I'm a bit short of these little shads, the weighted shads. Generally, this time of year, you get... Hey, I'm just going to stop the recording now. I'm looking back at this while editing. Look at this lure here. Next week's video, that's going to feature quite prominently, and I do need to order some more. I'll explain why in the next video, but I just thought I'd give you a heads up. It's a 1 metre diving lure, so something that will get down to that sort of depth. This particular one I'll link to down below. The bass are chasing these, you know, do better on the bigger plugs anyway. They're chasing the bait fish up higher in the water column, but just then, I mean, we had those 2 fish on this Westin lure, but of course I come out with all the lighter stuff. Nothing really is exactly the same. So I think I'll just try another one of these weighted in here somewhere. Yeah, got like a Savage Gear hybrid. I think I'll give that a go, just to get it down off the bottom. But I absolutely love these Westin ones. They've done really well for us this year. The other alternative that is similar that I did bring was the Savage Gear ones, the silly ones really, with the stick that goes through that blade. So we'll probably get 2 or 3 casts out of that before it starts coming out. But you have to carry, when you're using that, you do have to carry these little sticks in there. We've got fluorocarbon. I've got some fluorocarbon there, so we'll redo our leader, put a little clip on. Those are the Savage Gear ones actually. I use either, I've got a mixture in there, those or the ones I really like are the mini lure clips from Breakaway. Right, okay. With the braid, I like the braid bit coming off the rod tip. So if you get that sort of coming off your rod tip up there, got a little bit of flexibility with it, and then I wrap that around my little finger 5 or 6 times, and that's the sort of feeling you want really. Take off a good length of braid. Over the years I've sort of said, oh, you know, get 14 foot of it. So I might do that in the kayak. You know, I lay the fluorocarbon over the top, like that. It's going over the top, and then pick it up the other side. And then you want this braid sort of at a right angle, like doing an L shape as I look at it. Give it some of that up too, and then join up on each other. So you can have a better look at this on the video that we did on soft plastics. I do a double uni knot on these. Someone was asking what you tie the tie them on with a double uni knot. So 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, and it just keeps that easy to tie. The only thing I can think of is to mend the wounded soldier by putting a little bit of a stick in there. I don't know. I've just got a lot more confidence using this Westin lure because it's had those other 2. So I'll have a few casts with that. I don't know if that really will affect the action, although that is one of the better latch systems on there. So the sun's starting to get a little bit higher in the sky, and you can see why autumn's so good, can't you? Those bass are fattening up, tend to see more of them, just need the conditions to be right. So have you been out? Whereabouts are you in the UK when you're lure fishing? I'm always interested in where people are fishing out and about. So I used to say last year we don't get many sand eels here on the Sussex coast compared to say Cornwall, which we don't, but it sort of put me off sand eel type lures. We've done so well with the Westin sand eels. There's a lot of rare birds around here. You know, we get like little brown birds. No idea what it is. Oh God. What was I saying? It is worth putting on those sand eel lures. You can get them up in the water column, you can bounce them along the bottom. and they've just done really well for us this year. We've had a lot of bass on them compared to what I'm going to put on next, which is got an S on there. Some of these are floating and some of these are sinking, but if you look on the underside there, she's got an S written on there, S for sinking. So we've got the tide up now on the beach, and we'll just cast this one out. I think we're almost there. Someone fishing out there, trolling. I don't like that technique of trolling. I just feel that you're not in touch with the fish. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's been tuna caught out here and that must be a hell of a way to catch a fish, but yeah, given a choice, nice casting from the beach. Just want to get over this little reef, and that tide starts to push. I quite like a bit of an ebb here, although I think we may have seen the best of the fishing. Let's just pop one over the top. Got to play the fish quite hard. If we do get something, you see here there's a there's a reef. You're going to have to play it up over the top of it. It's deep underneath. So not ideal if we catch something. Lovely little spot though, isn't it? Look. I think if there's anything here, we're going to have them in 4 casts. So surface lures then, we've got that big pachinko on there. I am always a little bit wary of using these in clear conditions, especially if you can see those seals out there as well. I wonder if that puts the fish further down, if they feed at all. It's just such a terrific way to catch fish, isn't it? You know, seeing the fish come up and smash the surface lures is brilliant. It's very clear out there. This is right on high tide now, so you can see it does clear up a little bit at high tide. Well, fishing does bring you closer to nature, that's for sure. The crows here giving that buzzard a bit of hassle. And if it's not the bird life, it's the seals. Often see foxes coming up here. Plus all that marine life. Fishing's not just about catching fish. Pachinko, I cast it out. You cast that out, you can just about see the splash. Just leave it. Sometimes the bass will come over, and then a drag of the lure, you know, sometimes works. You see the seagulls up there having a little look. He's going to come down. You've just got to be ready for him. You can either stop the lure to stop the seagull thinking it's a fish, or just drag it out the way at the last minute. Now we've got another one coming down. This is a black-headed gull. We don't really want that. Good thing about the ebbing tide, not going to get cut off. Sometimes if you can get out on a little flat bit of rock, it does help. Lovely, see all this seaweed here. That's good. Gully. I bet the bass run through these gullies when the tide's up. So a little bit of rock sticking out obviously provides a difference in the speed of water. We will talk about this a lot on the channel. It's also a good vantage point to cast from. You can see the water clarity today. Not bad, is it? Not gin clear. Definitely clear enough. Beautiful. I'm saying these lures do slot in quite nicely. They come out. Right. Cast him out. Right, come on. First cast from here. Let's go. So the bass, very dependent on tide. State of the tide, we had two fish, bang, bang, and then a third that got off, all within, well, successive casts really. And the guy fishing next to me got one, and they move in and out of these little reefs, and we're now on the first of the ebb. I do like a bit of movement of water. It gets a bit flat that hour around high tide, and we're just starting to move off high. Tide's coming back down again. Moving this lure quite fast with the handle there. Come on, let's just get one more on the camera for you. I don't even know if the camera was working properly for those other fish. So I hope to get one more, because I know you're listening to this. When I'm on the bottom, I'll tell you what, I might just finish off the session. I'm going to have... Yeah, look. No, that's strange. Yeah, it's coming off now. See, normally there's a little hook on there. That's enough to keep that on. So we're coming up to high tide now. It's sort of covered the reef. So we're fishing over that weed that we were treading over. Just put on one of these darker colour lures from the top. Subsurface lure. From our friends at Lures for Bass. They do sort of budget lures. And I'm just working this ground here. You can see we've got a reef in front of us. Any value out of these videos, I would love you to subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon as well down there, and we'll keep you up to date with what's being caught. And we actually did very well the next day as well. You can always check out one of these two videos here if you like lure fishing for bass.